today's starting pitcher for the Sugar Beets. He is a 5'11", 190-pound sophomore from right here at Saginaw Valley State University. He resides in Fowlerville, Michigan. Number 13, left-hander Eric Fritz. The Sugar Beets are managed.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Saginaw, Michigan, where today a doubleheader will be played between the Saginaw Sugar Beets, who are currently third in the North Division, against your Lake Erie Monarchs, who are currently residing in the basement of the North Division. Kevin Peel here with you on a cloudy, and it was light, rainy morning here in Saginaw, but we are now ready to go for action. We thought maybe we would be delayed here, but fortunately the field has held up very nicely, and so we are set to play 2 games today after yesterday's rainout, as the Monarchs and Sugar Beets were dealing with a lot of rain in the area. And so here at Saginaw Valley State University, they decided they would not try and get the game in yesterday, so we are now here for a doubleheader between the Monarchs and the Sugar Beets. Caleb Balgard is stepping in on the right side, and he will face Eric Fritz, the left-handed pitcher. The first pitch is on the way, and Balgard swings and pops one up to the right side of the infield. Ryan Robinette tracking into shallow right field. He'll make the catch. And that's the initial out here in the top of the first as Balgard flies out immediately to the second baseman, Ryan Robinette. Let's take a look at that defensive alignment for the Saginaw Sugar Beets. Left to right in the outfield, Noah Marcoux, Ryan Missel, and Sean Fannin. Left side of the infield will be Brady Wood at third, Cooper Marshall at short, Ryan Robinette at second, Max Trucks, the first baseman, Eric Fritz, the pitcher, Connor Charping is the catcher today for the Sugar Beets. Fritz ready to go against Will Prater, and the pitch misses high for ball 1. Will Prater, the starting second baseman today for the Monarchs, batting on the left side. He is from Western Carolina University. The pitch. And it's a ground ball hit over to Robinette, who's been busy. It's slowed down by the grass a bit. Throwing over in time to get Prater, though, is Robinette. 4-3 put out of Will Prater. 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the first. So with it being a doubleheader, we will play 2 7-inning games today to make up for yesterday's rainout. And in fact, there were numerous rainouts across the league yesterday. So you were really hard-pressed to find any Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League action on Saturday afternoon. Here comes Alex Lambo, starting shortstop, first pitch, and it's a strike over the outside corner at the knees, 0-1. Alex Lambo gets the start. Once again, 33rd appearance for Lambo this year, 295 average with 2 homers and 18 RBIs. 0-1, and it misses down low. Even it up, a ball and a strike. Eric Fritz, the lefty from Saginaw Valley State. So he's playing on his home field here today. 1-1. And a curveball taken for strike 2. Lambo not able to pull the trigger. 5'11", 190 pounds is Fritz. He is an upcoming sophomore from Fowlerville, Michigan. And the 1-2. Bounces well before the plate. Lambo able to lay off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fritz is making his 8th start and his 10th appearance of the season. 2-1 record, a 5.68 earned run average. 38 innings thrown, 21 strikeouts to 11 walks, almost 2-1. 48 hits allowed. 2-2. Fly ball hit towards right field, backing up on it, Fannin still going back, and it will go over his head and 1 hop against the fence. Lambo's around second. He's thinking 3. The throw goes from Robinette towards third, and it will be slightly offline. So a 2-out triple for the Monarchs off the bat of Alex Lambo continues the inning. And Eric Fritz is in a minor jam here in the top of the first.
Now stepping in to hit.
Great piece of hitting by
Lambo.
Lambo. Ball that just kept traveling. Lambo picks up his first triple of the year, and that's just the 7th triple of the season for the Lake Erie Monarchs baseball team. A team that has struggled to hit the baseball at times this year. Here's the DH, Robert Bell, in on the right side against Fritz, and a breaker is taken for strike 1. Robert Bell is a switch hitter from Bethune-Cookman University. He's hitting .301 with 3 homers and 18 RBIs this year. 4 Monarchs players have 18 RBIs on the team, in fact. 0-1 and a swing and a miss. Bell behind the pitch. No balls and 2 strikes. So the weather for today's game, it is in the upper 60s. So around 67, 68 degrees. The light rain has settled down to almost nothing, and the wind is essentially nothing as well. 0-2 to Bell outside. Ball and 2 strikes. The Monarchs track up from Flat Rock featured a lot of rain on the way, including over the lunch stop here. That was a little south of the area. 1-2 on the ground over to third. Wood picks, throws. Nice stretch by Trucks, and that will be the final out in the top of the first inning, which is a scoreless one for the Monarchs. Alex Lambo's 2-out triple yields no runs. We venture to the bottom of the first here in Game 1. Monarchs and the Sugar Beets are scoreless. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Bottom of the first inning set to begin here in Saginaw at Cardinal Stadium. No score, the Saginaw Sugar Beets coming to the plate for the first time. Ryan Robinette, Connor Charping, and Noah Marcoux, top 3 in the order, will be set to face Jack Heisman. Cooper Marshall, Max Trucks, Brady Wood, middle 3, Adam Proctor, Sean Fannin, and Ryan Mitchell Missole, the bottom 3 in the order for the Saginaw Sugar Beets today. Robinette's ready to go against Heisman. Pitches high, ball 1. Jack Heisman from Western Michigan gets the start today for the Monarchs. Robinette in on the right side. 1-0 pitch and a line drive fair down the third base line. That ball was scorched. Heading over towards the corner is Schwarzenberger to get the baseball, and Ryan Robinette will coast in with a leadoff double in the bottom of the first. This is a very dangerous offensive Saginaw Sugar Beets team, and they start things off in a big way with Ryan Robinette picking up his 5th double of the year, increasing that .325 batting average. He also has a homer and 17 RBIs. It's just a double this time, though, but yet a good start to the inning.
The catcher, a sophomore.
Now the batter
Western
is
Michigan,
Connor
number 40,
Charping.
Connor Charping.
Charping gets the start behind the plate today for the Sugar Beets. Charping hitting .348, which is second on the team with 26 RBIs. That's third on the team. Runs batted in. Charping squares the bunt, pulls back, takes ball 1. from Heisman. Umpires for today's game, Frank Barquette calling the balls and strikes behind home, and Barry Gross, the base umpire today, making those judgments on the paths. 1-0. Charping puts one in the air to center field. O'Loughlin waiting on it, and he will make the catch. On his way towards third is Robinette. The throw comes to Lambeau, who was not too far away from his shortstop's position. And Robinette had a bit of a hesitation as he went towards third, but it did not matter. He was able to advance on the fly out by Charping. First out here in the bottom of the first, a man in scoring position just 90 feet away for the Sugar Beets. And now we'll bring up Noah Marcoux. Noah Marcoux hitting .291, 6 home runs, and a team-leading 34 knocked in. He is second on the team with those 6 long balls. And pitch is high to Marcoux, ball 1. Marcoux, the starting left fielder today for the Sugar Beets. Game 3 of 4 in the season series between these two. Pitches outside, ball 2. Saginaw took the opener of this season series. Of course, the second game was a very memorable one. But Saginaw was able to win the first game 8-4. Marcoux swings and misses for strike 1. But then the 27-8 game happened the night after that on a Friday evening in Flat Rock. So it was a very big win, the largest win of the season by far for the Monarchs. Marcoux swings and misses, 2 balls, 2 strikes. But it ended up being just a split of the season series, and Saginaw has found themselves to be in great position entering play today. Just a half game back of second in the North Division, half game back of the Green Giants, and just 2.5 back of Lima. 2-2 is outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Noah Marcoux. Bottom of the first, no score. Ryan Robinette is at third, trying to come home to get the game's first run across. Heisman working from the set position. Deep breath. 3-2. Swing and a foul tip into the mitt. Strike 3. Noah Marcoux is out of there. Big strikeout for Jack Heisman. That's his first of the contest. And there are now 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And that will bring up Cooper Marshall.
A senior at
Cooper Marshall, the team's best hitter, with a .373 batting average. Those team high 7 home runs, and he's driven in 28 RBIs this year. This offense, I was mentioning, very prolific. 281 they hit as a team. Marshall fouls one back to the screen, slightly to the right of home. No balls and a strike. They also have 28 home runs as a team and have driven in over 200 runs. Offensively, 0-1. Skips in and into the left-handed batter's box. Able to move to his right was Griffin Mazer to cut off the baseball and make sure it didn't get to the backstop. Even count at 1-1. Robinette with good speed at third. Anything that kicks away, even the slightest from Mazer, could plate him. 1-1. Marshall takes inside. 2 balls and a strike. Monarchs defensively today, left to right in the outfield, Schwarzenberger, O'Loughlin, Dyke. Left side of the infield, Balgard, Lambeau at third and short, respectively. 2-1. A little low to Marshall. 3 balls and a strike. Will Prater's at second base. Casey Slattery, the first baseman. Jack Heisman, the pitcher. Griffin Mazer rounding out the battery as the catcher today. 3-1 on the way. High ball 4. Cooper Marshall able to coax a walk. After an 0-1 count, 4 straight balls from Jack Heisman. And Marshall walks for the 19th time this year, which is third on the team behind Proctor and Marcoux. Here comes Max Trucks, first baseman for the Sugar Beets, hitting in the 5-hole. Runners on the corners, 2 down in the bottom of the first. Trucks with the open stance on the left side. Pitch to him over the outside corner. Strike 1 from Jack Heisman, who is 6'4", 200 pounds, upcoming sophomore from Holland, Michigan, and plays baseball for the WMU Broncos program. 0-1, a line drive to center, getting down for a base hit as it settles in front of O'Laughlin. That will get Saginaw on the board. Robinette crosses the plate. RBI single for Max Trucks has given the Saginaw Sugar Beets the 1-0 advantage here, just 2/3 of the way through this first inning. Trucks able to pick up his 12th, make it 4th RBI of the season. I was reading the wrong line. 4 RBIs now for Max Trucks.
11, the third baseman,
Clutch hitting.
Brady Wood.
So Saginaw off and running. Now Brady Wood will foul one off to the right of home. No balls and a strike. So Trucks is at first. Marshall is at second for Brady Wood, who gets the start as the third baseman today. Another 300-plus hitter, hitting .321. This is his 33rd game, a home run and 15 RBIs. Stepping off is Jack Heisman, just to take an extra moment. Heisman works from the first base side of the rubber, the 0-1 pitch, and it's down and away. Even count, a ball and a strike on Brady Wood, who struck out just 12 times this year in 112 at-bats. He has been tough to get out in that fashion during this 2018 campaign. 1-1 to Brady Wood on the ground over to second. The grass holds it up. Prater throws off balance to first, got his man. Nice play to get out of the inning. However, Jack Heisman doesn't get out of it unscathed. Max Trucks with an RBI knock in the bottom of the first has given the Sugar Beets the lead. At the end of one, it's Saginaw 1, Lake Erie nothing. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Monarchs baseball over the internet. Top of the second inning. Eric Fritz, his first pitch is a little bouncer hit off the bat of Casey O'Laughlin, a swinging bunt. Fritz did have time to throw towards first, but the throw was offline, and O'Laughlin will reach via what will most likely be an error. It will be a hit, actually, to Casey O'Laughlin, and that will be the second hit of the game for the Monarchs. Fritz did his best. The grass slowed down that baseball. It was hit fairly close to the first base line. But O'Laughlin was able to beat it out.
Andrew Dyke.
Monarchs get their leadoff man on here in the top of the second, down 1-0. Now here's Andrew Dyke. Starter out in right field today. Throw over to Check O'Laughlin. He is back in safely. Andrew Dyke with a .238 batting average, 3 homers and 10 RBIs on the season. Fritz, the lefty, looking at O'Laughlin at first. Now he deals a first pitch outside. Ball 1 to Dyke. Monarchs in the visiting traveling uniforms as per usual. The grays with navy blue pinstripes on the jerseys and the slacks. 1-0 from Fritz. Check swing and a ball low and away. Did he go? They say he did for strike one. Ball and a strike. Monarchs also have the green stirrups with 3 stripes on them, 2 white, 1 in navy blue. Fritz taking his time. Now he delivers. A little bit outside. 2 balls and a strike to Andrew Dyke. Blue batting helmets for the Monarchs. They also have the tri-colored caps. White on the front, navy blue on the sides, green on the back with the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League logo. The Monarchs head logo is in the white portion of the cap with a blue lid. 2-1, runner takes off. Dyke pops it up. O'Loughlin will have to scamper back. This is to right field. Fannin will get underneath it for out number 1. O'Loughlin is able to get back safely to first. Hit and run went awry for the Monarchs. One down here in the top of the second. 1-0 Sugar Beets.
The catcher,
Here's Griffin Mazer, starting catcher for the Monarchs today. 19th appearance as a Monarch for Griffin Mazer. 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. Fritz ready at the belt. Pitches. It's outside for ball 1. They throw down to get O'Loughlin. He's out of there. Caught stealing 2-4 is Casey O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin caught for the 2nd time this season in 7 tries. And so it's an 0-1 count on Mazer, but the bases are now empty and 2 outs in the inning. 0-1. Just missed the inside corner. Even count at a ball and a strike. Third base coach Bradley Merritt, also the pitching coach in his first year. Dale Gray, the first base coach for the Monarchs today. Back to the mound. What a stop by Fritz. Got his glove down to the mound in time to stop that grounder. And he'll throw on to first well in time for out number 3. So the Monarchs get a leadoff single from Casey O'Loughlin, but they do not score. And as we venture to the middle of the second, the Monarchs trail the Sugar Beets 1-0. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Keep in touch with your favorite baseball team by heading over to LakeErieMonarchs.com, which has an up-to-date look at your stats, a schedule for the last week of the season, also many numerous game recaps, and a link to the Monarchs YouTube page through the multimedia tab, where you can find full games and highlights on LakeErieMonarchs.com. Jack Heisman's first pitch is up and away, ball 1. Bottom 2 here at Cardinals Stadium in Saginaw. 1-0 is the score. Sugar Beets in the lead. Adam Proctor, the DH, leading things off in this frame. Pitches outside, ball 2, as Heisman falls well behind to start things off. Adam Proctor hitting .202 with 2 homers and 11 RBIs. 30th game that Proctor has played in. And the 2-0 is aired into shallow left field. Schwarzenberger, Lambeau, Balgard all converging. He extended out and made a nice catch, did Zach Schwarzenberger, for the first out here in the bottom of the second. Able to get out of the way were Lambeau and Balgard, who were going backwards, and Schwarzenberger had it gauged all the way. Makes the sliding catch. One up, one down in the bottom half of the second. 1-0 Saginaw. And the batter is Sean Fannin. Right-handed hitting right fielder Sean Fannin will lift one towards right field. His counterpart Dyke going back and makes a catch. Well short of the track, but he was in full sprint, reached out, made the one-handed grab. And boy, Saginaw's not making things easy on these outfielders, but Dyke and Schwarzenberger both able to track baseballs down here to begin the bottom of the second. So Sean Fannin's 263 average will temporarily go down. And here's Ryan Missel, number 9 man in the order, with 2 outs, 1-0 Saginaw here in the second. Missel hitting 260, 2 homers, 11 driven in. Fastball outside, ball 1 to Missel. He'll bat on the left side against the righty Jack Heisman. Heisman throws. And over the inner half, strike 1. Heisman has a 1-0 record with a 5.03 ERA. 9th appearance, 3rd start. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Missile behind a heater, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Heisman has thrown 19 2/3 innings coming in, 21 strikeouts to 14 walks, and has surrendered 18 hits this year. 1-2. Bounces in. Even count on Missile, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last appearance for Jack Heisman came 8 days ago on Saturday in Adrian, Michigan, against the Irish Hills Leprechauns. 2-2. And a liner right to first. Slattery will glove it. He'll go to the bag, but will not have to do so. He made the catch before it descended to the ground. And that's the final out in a scoreless bottom of the second inning. 9-pitch easy frame for Jack Heisman. We're through 2, Saginaw 1, Lake Erie nothing. This is your home for Monarchs baseball. Casey Slattery trying to get a Monarchs rally going in the third, 1-0. Saginaw is in the lead. Breaking ball misses inside, ball 1. Slattery, the first baseman today for the Monarchs, batting 8th in the order. Schwarzenberger and Caleb Balgard will also be due up in the inning. 1-0. And a breaker is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Casey Slattery has struggled during his tenure here in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League, a 118 average with 4 RBIs. 28th game he's appeared in. 2-0 is a strike at the knees. Even up the count, 2-1 on Slattery. So the Monarchs in the road grays, as we were describing. Saginaw in the home white jerseys today. 2-1. Slattery able to lay off the breaker that was low for ball 3. Sugar Beets across the chest in green lettering. Somewhat of a neon with black trim. 3-1. Slattery pops one up. This will get out of play behind home. 3 balls and 2 strikes. White pants with a singular black stripe down the side. Black caps for the Sugar Beets. They have a white area on the front of their cap, just like the Monarchs do, although they have the Sugar Beets logo. on the front instead of the Monarchs. 3-2, grounded right to first. Tough play for Trucks. He's able to make it and go to the bag by himself. Tough hop, but able to corral it was Max Trucks and get the first out here in the top of the third. Well done. Here's Zach Schwarzenberger. Schwarzenberger will bat on the right side as a switch hitter from the University of Toledo.
The left fielder,
Schwarzenberger hitting
Zach
.247,
Schwarzenberger.
no home runs and 5 RBIs this year. And the pitch. And a fastball tails outside for ball 1. Sugar Beets in their first year of existence in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Even up the count, a ball and a strike on Zach Schwarzenberger. And I recall vividly back in my days calling games in 2014 for the Monarchs. The Monarchs were the first team in Michigan, full-time, 1-1, low, 2 balls and a strike, that were in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. Monarchs moved to Flat Rock in 14. Then the teams came in quickly. 2-1. Outside, maybe a touch low, 3-1. The Irish Hills Leprechauns in Adrian, they were established in 2016 and became the second Michigan team to play in the GL SCL. 3-1 and a wave and a miss. Schwarzenberger behind a fastball, full count. 1 out, top of the third, 1-0 Sugar Beets. Nobody on for the Monarchs. Payoff is on the way. And a pop-up is hit to shallow right field. Fannin coming in, Robinette out. Robinette will make the catch. Just calls off Fannin. Second out here in the top of the third.
Now climbing into
and here comes Caleb Balgard.
a resident of Fenton, Michigan.
Balgard,
The
0
third
for
baseman,
1
number
to start
21,
with a pop-out here
Balgard.
today. Deep in the box is Balgard, the right-handed hitter from Indiana University, against Fritz, who delivers. And it's outside, 1-0. So the Monarchs, Leprechauns, this year the Saginaw Sugar Beets. Yet another team to join this North Division. 1-0 on the ground over to short. Fielded stomach high by Marshall. His throw across is true. Out number 3. And the Monarchs, for the first time, do not get a hit in the inning. They go in order against Eric Fritz. Middle of the third inning here at Cardinal Stadium. Saginaw 1, Lake Erie nothing. This is your home for Monarchs baseball.
We go now to the bottom
Lake
half
Erie
of the
Monarchs
third inning.
baseball
And
taking on the Saginaw Sugar Beets on this Sunday afternoon. 1-0 Sugar Beets leading here in the bottom of the third in game 1. Back to the top of the order for Saginaw to start the inning with Ryan Robinette. He swings right away and lines one right at Lambeau. Robinette took a couple steps towards first base, immediately turned and headed back towards the dugout. That was a frozen rope, but right at Lambeau. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. A lot of pace this game being played with early. There's Connor Sharping. Fly out to center for him first time up. Takes a bouncer in the dirt, ball 1. Frank Barquette retrieving a baseball that was just to the right of home in foul ground. Heisman's 1-0 on the way. Sharping takes a fastball outside corner for strike one. A good crowd on hand. The umbrella's ready for the fans today, just in case some more drizzle begins to come down. 1-1 skips inside and low, 2 balls and a strike. Here on the campus of Saginaw Valley State University, a D2 program. A lot of success in several sports. 2-1, and it's a little low. 3 balls and a strike. Three and one on Sharping in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Sugar Beets. The pitch. Pop up. Slattery going to investigate first base side, and then will get out of play into the grass area. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Softball stadium is right behind us here in the press box. Right behind the baseball stadium is the softball stadium. The football stadium also just next door where the Cardinals football team plays. 3-2, Sharping puts it hard on the ground to short. Lambeau Fields throws. Sharping so quick, and he has to throw quickly to get the man. He does. Out number 2. Jack Heisman, after the RBI single from Max Trucks, has retired 6 straight. That's the difference in the game. 1-zip Sugar Beets in the third. 2 outs in the home half, and here's Noah Marcoux. Marcoux struck out swinging back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Left-handed batter against the righty pitcher. Heisman delivers, a little low. Ball 1. The pitch. And it's back to the screen. A ball and a strike. So we were talking about the northern expansion of this league from 2014 when it was just the Monarchs as the only Michigan team to join the league, or to be in the league. 1-1 outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. But Muskegon, also a recent addition to the north. And, of course, St. Clair Green Giants in their second year of existence. Marcoux fouls one away over our heads in the press box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. 2 gone in the inning. Saginaw looking to add on to their 1-0 advantage. 2-2 from Heisman. Rung him up, strike 3. Over the inside corner, Marcoux goes down on strikes for the second time here today. Heisman has both of his strikeouts against Marcoux. We're through 3. Saginaw 1, Lake Erie 0. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Well, Prater leads things off in the 4th. Eric Fritz ready to go. His first pitch is over for strike 1 to Will Prater. Saginaw 1, Lake Erie nothing. Game 1 of this twin bill here at Cardinal Stadium in Saginaw. 0-1 pitch over the inside corner. Behind 0-2 is Will Prater. Prater grounded out to second his first time up. That came in the first inning. Eric Fritz, the lefty, has scattered 2 hits through 3 innings. High and tight. Ball and 2 strikes to Will Prater. Very cloudy skies overhead, but the rain has subsided as we've ventured into the afternoon hours. 1-2 put to right field, and it gets past the extended arm of Fannin. It's rolling towards the fence. Prater to second. He's thinking 3. The throw misses the cutoff man, Robinette, but Marshall was able to back it up nicely, and Prater will stop as he turned around and went back to second base. Leadoff double for the Monarchs here in the top of the 4th. Would have been a close play at third if Will Prater had decided to go. So Prater will just take 2 bases, 4th double of the season for him.
Seattle, Washington.
Got just past Fannin, who was aggressively chasing it down, but it sunk to the ground past him. So now here's Alex Lambo. Alex Lambo, 1 for 1 with a triple today. Pitches over the outside corner for strike 1. Monarchs with 3 hits and 2 of them extra base hits, as we are now 3+ into this game. Fritz with a glance towards second. 0-1. Stays outside. Even count, 1-1 on Alex Lambo. The fans today situated behind home, and also a couple down the baselines taking in the action. 1-1. And it goes to the netting behind home. Lambo swinging hard. Ball and 2 strikes. 1-0 Sugar Beets here in the 4th. Monarchs getting their leadoff man on via a double from Will Prater. Fritz's 1-2. Pop up to center. Missile coming in. Robinette going out. It will be Missile to make the call and the grab. Out number 1. Prater got underneath that baseball. So here comes Robert Bell. Will once again bat from the right side against the lefty Eric Fritz.
Number 6. Robert Bell.
Eric Fritz, his last start came 10 days ago in what was a winning effort against the Licking County Settlers down in Newark, Ohio. Pitch to Bell, curveball, outside corner at the knees. 0-1. 6 innings, an earned run, 3 hits, 2 walks, a strikeout, faced 23, and was the winner. Picked up that second victory of the season, looking to pick up win number 3 here today. 0-1. A little low. Even count on Bell. And Fritz has an early 1-0 lead as we're moving towards the middle stages of this game 1 of a twin bill here today. 1-1. Way in front of the curveball. Bell was thinking heater, did not get it, and Fritz pulled the string. A ball and 2 strikes. Season high 7 2/3 innings pitched for Eric Fritz came here, well, in the Saginaw area. They've played in multiple ballparks throughout the season, but a home game against the Clippers on June 25th. Allowed just an earned run in 7 2/3 innings pitched and faced 30 batters. Time call, Bell will step out. Surrendered just 4 hits that night, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. One, 2. Low and away. Nice block by the catcher Charping as the ball was in the dirt in the left-handed batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the numbers have been pretty good outside of 2 appearances for Fritz this year. He's been good. He's allowed 6 earned runs twice. 2-2, and Bell swings and misses, strike 3. Couldn't catch up to the outside fastball. That's the first strikeout of the game for Eric Fritz. And after the leadoff double, 2 straight outs. 1-0 Sugar Beets here in the 4th.
Number 33, Casey O'Loughlin.
Casey O'Loughlin already has a hit today. Singled in the 2nd, was caught stealing as well in that inning. Pitch to the Northwestern Wildcat, and it's off the end of his bat, foul to the screen behind home. No balls and a strike. Dimensions here at Cardinal Stadium, 396 to dead center field. Down the lines, 332 in the right field and left field corners. Saginaw Valley State, a member of the GLIAC. 0-1 hit O'Loughlin near the elbow on his right arm, and that looked painful. He's holding his arm for a moment as he starts to track down the first base line. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, top 4. And Andrew Dyke will have another chance. Fly out his first time back in the 2nd.
For the Monarchs.
Game 1 of this doubleheader, Saginaw 1, Lake Erie nothing.
Illinois, the right fielder, number 4, Andrew Dyke.
Griffin Mazer in the on-deck circle, ready to go. If Dyke can get on and extend the inning. First pitch from Fritz, swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Andrew Dyke. Wind starting to pick up, it appears ever so slightly. And blowing in, kind of towards the right field corner. Dyke will take one in the dirt for a ball. Prater and O'Loughlin having to hold their bases at first and second. Again, sharping sound behind home plate, not letting anything get away. Fritz getting the sign from his backstop. Comes set. Digs the right foot into the ground. Now kicks that right leg and throws. Strike 2. At the knees, inside corner. What an off-speed pitch that was from Fritz. Had Dyke fooled. 1-2. Fritz trying to get out of the inning. Is 1-2. Outside and high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eric Fritz has pitched 1 inning out of the pen, or an inning and a third, so pretty closely related twice this year. July 6th against the Clippers, and June 5th, way back at the start of the season against the Green Giants. 2-2, a tapper at the plate will keep Andrew Dyke alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men on, top of the 4th, 1-0 Sugar Beets. Fritz trying to hold the lead. Dyke looking in for the pitch, which is on its way. And a fly ball hit well towards left field, backing up Marcoux, still backing up. It one hops the fence. A run's coming in. Prater's going to score. The ball's picked up in the corner. O'Loughlin gets waved home. No throw will be made as Brady Wood receives the throw from Marcoux. 2-run double for Andrew Dyke. And the Monarchs go from a run down to a run up, as Andrew Dyke has 11 and 12 RBIs now on the season. And that makes it 2-1 Monarchs here in the top of the 4th.
For the Monarchs from Monarch, California.
Well hit ball to the left field corner. Marcoux was playing up.
Griffin Mazer.
And it just was nailed past him. And all the way to the fence. Clutch 2-out hit from Andrew Dyke. Debatably his biggest hit of the year that he has had. And now a ball delivered to Griffin Mazer. 1-0. 2 outs in the 4th, 2-1 Monarchs. 3rd extra base hit of the game already for Lake Erie. a triple and 2 doubles. 1-0. Mazer with a big hack. Comes up empty. Ball and a strike. Monarchs out hitting the Sugar Beets now 4-2. And the lead is theirs for the first time at 2-1. 1-1 from Fritz. Curveball hit towards right center field. Coming over and watching it bounce in front of him is Fannin. Coming towards the plate is Dyke. He'll score. The throw is offline. An RBI single from Griffin Mazer drives in another one as he picks up his 9th RBI of the season. And the Monarchs lead it 3-1 here in the top of the 4th. Good piece of hitting for Griffin Mazer to score Andrew Dyke from second on the play. And all these runs coming in with 2 outs. 3 straight have reached after Robert Bell struck out to get the second out of the 4th. So the Monarchs battling back hard here in the 4th to take that 3-1 lead. Want to remind you fans to keep in touch with your favorite baseball team. Head on over to LakeErieMonarchs.com, which has an up-to-date assessment of your schedule, stats, roster, and much, much more. You can also find post-game recaps and a link to our YouTube page via the multimedia tab. You can find all that on LakeErieMonarchs.com. Don't forget, at GLL_Monarchs, our Twitter page account, and our Facebook page is Lake Erie Monarchs. Monarchs with 3 hits in the inning to take a 3-1 lead against Eric Fritz and the Sugar Beets. Griffin Mazer still at first, and there are 2 outs for Casey Slattery, who grounded out to first, his first time at the plate. Skipper into the catcher, ball 1. Mound visit is complete as Eric Fritz is trying to settle down here and minimize the damage. Look towards first, the 1-0. Slattery pops it up sky high behind home. Sharping going back near the fence. Can't quite make the catch as it bounced off of him and into the padding behind home. Sharping was close to making the grab, but just eludes him. A ball and a strike. Frank Barquette, the home plate umpire, was watching closely to see if the backstop could make the catch. So the inning not quite over yet for Fritz. One. And another breaking ball low below the zone. 2 balls and a strike. Saginaw Sugar Beets playing here at Cardinal Stadium. They've played about half of their home games here. They've also played at Dow Diamond, the home of the Great Lakes Loons. They are an A affiliate of the Dodgers organization, low A. 2-1 is taken for strike 2 by Casey Slattery, even up the count 2-2. They play in the Midwest League, very large and competitive low A league for those prospects trying to move up towards advanced A, double A. 2-2. High and tight on Slattery. 3-2 count. And I've never visited Dow Diamond, but from what I hear, it is a gem. Located in Midland, not too far away from here. Payoff pitch from Fritz is coming. And Slattery bangs a curveball towards center field. Missile moving towards right center. Will reach up and make the catch for out number 3. And that's all in a very active 3-run inning for the Monarchs. They get 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. They leave a man on. We venture to the bottom of the 4th, and the Monarchs have their first lead. It's 3-1. You're listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball. ball low to Cooper Marshall. That starts off the bottom of the fourth. Monarchs with a lead for Jack Heisman. 1-0. Marshall pops one up. Foul out of play to the right of home. A ball and a strike. Monarchs putting up 3 in the top half of this inning to take the 3-1 lead. Saginaw had the lead since the bottom of the first, but no longer. Fastball inside to Marshall, 2-1. Marshall walked and was stranded at second base back in the first, which was a busy inning. Heisman settling into a bit of a groove. 2-1 fastball over the outside edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Marshall, who sports the number 24. 2-2. Inside to Marshall. Full count. Saginaw and the all-whites today have the names on the back of their jerseys and also the letters in all black. 3-2. Marshall able to waste a fastball that was away from him out of play. Count remains full at 3-2. Saginaw Sugar Beets were formerly the Lorain County Ironmen, but the Ironmen were bought and moved up here to Saginaw to compete. 3-2, and it missed somewhere for ball 4. Might have been a bit tight. Second walk for Jack Heisman, both of them to Cooper Marshall here today. And that's exactly how you want to start this bottom of the fourth inning if you are the Sugar Beets.
Number 12, Max Trucks.
Here's Max Trucks, who singled home a run in the first inning. 3-1 Monarchs, bottom 4. Trying to bunt his Trucks. He will pull off and take ball 1. Heisman will work from the set position. Deep breath, 1-0. Trucks tries to bunt again, takes a strike. It was away from him. 1 ball and 1 strike the count.
No, this is, yeah, it's from the stand.
Heisman brings it. Bunt shown, ball taken, away. Close pitch, 2 balls and a strike. Jack Heisman attended Holland Christian High School in Holland and was a state champion in 2016. And the ball is bunted up in the air. Diving play made by Casey Slattery on Truck's bunt that went almost all the way to the dirt. And Slattery was able to make the catch.
Next, the hit for the Sugar Beets from Frankenmuth, Michigan, the third baseman.
So Cooper Marshall will retreat to first base. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 Lake Erie. And the man up is Brady Wood. 0-for-1 with a ground out today is Wood. Throw over to first just to keep Cooper Marshall honest. Heisman appeared in 9 games in 2018 with the Western Michigan program. Through a total of 6 innings, struck out 7. Brady Wood, a check swing foul towards the first base dugout of the Monarchs. 0-1. One of his big accomplishments for Heisman was that he appeared against 5 Power 5 opponents. Purdue, Michigan, Michigan State, Northwestern, and Notre Dame. Runner takes off on the pitch from Brady Wood, and it will be a ball away. Cooper Marshall was able to steal the base successfully. So runner at second with 1 down in the fourth. 3-1 Monarchs in the lead. Brady Wood with a slightly open stance on the right side. He's deep in the box. Break even. High and tight. Bending Wood away from home plate. 2-1. Jack at Holland Christian was a 3-year letter winner in baseball and lettered twice in basketball as well. Another talented multi-sport athlete. 2-1. Wood airs it into foul ground, first base side. Slattery moving back on it, but it will land in foul ground near the first base bullpen of the Monarchs. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom 4, 3-1 Monarchs in front of the Sugar Beets. But the Sugar Beets are threatening. The tying run is at the plate. Heisman working the chewing gum as he gets the sign and delivers. And it bounces in. Full count on Brady Wood. Second full count of the inning for Heisman. And that's his 4th full count of the game so far, through 3 1/3 innings. 3-2. Brady Wood takes ball 4 inside. Good take. 2 walks now in the inning for Heisman, 3 in the game. And the Monarchs now are dealing with the tying run on the base paths at first.
Next to hit for the Sugar Beets.
Here's Adam Proctor.
St. John's,
The
Michigan.
DH
The
is 0
designated
for
hitter,
1
number
with a
28,
fly out back in the
Adam
second inning.
Proctor.
Sugar Beets down 3-1 in the 4th with 2 men on and 1 out. The pitch. And it misses maybe a bit up. Ball 1 to Adam Proctor. Along with being a state champion, Heisman was a 3-time district champ at Holland Christian, 15 through 17. 1-0 is fouled off at the plate. Strike 1. In his last year as a senior, 7-1 record, 42 innings pitched, 54 strikeouts, 4.18 ERA. Heisman will get a new baseball. Adam Proctor, the left-handed hitter, against the righty Jack Heisman. Wind blowing in a bit and towards the right field corner. 1-1. At the knees, outside corner. Well located for strike 2. First of 2 to be played here today as the season series will wrap up. First ever season series between the Sugar Beets and Monarchs. 1-2 is a fly ball hit, and it's going foul. 1 hop against the fence down the right field corner. It was hit hard by Proctor, but just kept turning slightly as it went down the line, and it found its way into foul ground. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Still a lot of cloud cover overhead, and not a sort of drenching rain expected the rest of the day, but we could be dodging sprinkles as these 2 teams are trying to get 2 7-inning games today. 1-2. Fastball high and able to lay off his Proctor. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out in the 4th, 3-1 Lake Erie in front of Saginaw. The runners at first and second for the Sugar Beets. Heisman trying to get out of a jam, wants a ground ball. Break even. Pop up, foul. Venturing out of play over our heads in the press box. Just situated right near the Sugar Beets dugout on the third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Heisman ready for another 2-2. Proctor a check swing, went too far, strike 3. On a fastball that was below the zone, Proctor couldn't hold up his swing. He strikes out. 3rd K of the game for Jack Heisman. And there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Runners still at first and second. Saginaw down 2.
The right fielder,
Sean Fannin, the next batter. And the last hope for the Sugar Beets potentially in the 4th. Fly out to right, his first time. A great catch was made by Dyke to rob him of a hit. Fannin puts it on the ground to short. Lambeau fields and goes the short way to second over to Prater to force Brady Wood and end the inning. So Jack Heisman walks 2, but doesn't allow a run, and the Monarchs keep their 3-1 lead. Let's head to the 5th next. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Eric Fritz delivers the first pitch of the 5th. It's a bunt popped up into the stands behind home by Zach Schwarzenberger, 0-1. Lake Erie Monarchs have the 3-1 advantage as the 5th inning begins in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Kevin Peel here with you. Thanks so much for tuning in, spending part of your Sunday afternoon with us here in Saginaw. 0-1 bounces in, ball and a strike. Monarchs, after today's doubleheader, have 6 games remaining and just 5 of them, or rather just 1 of them on the road. 1-1. And Schwarzenberger with a pop-up. Shallow right center. Robinette just onto the grass. Makes the play. Out number 1. So now the next man up is the top of the order, Caleb Balgar. 0 for 2 with a pop out and a ground out here today. Top 5, 3-1 Monarchs. And after today's twin bill, the Monarchs will play the next 5 at home Tuesday through Saturday at Flat Rock Field before next week's season finale is on the road. Ball 1 to Caleb Balgard. 1-0. Monarchs will host the Muskegon Clippers and the Grand Lake Mariners and the Galleon Graders. 1-0 is grounded over to short. Marshall. 2 trucks at first. Second straight ground out by Balgard over to short. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th for the Monarchs, ahead 3-1. Batter is Will Prater. Ground out in the first, doubled to start the 4th inning rally, which lasted 7 batters against Eric Fritz, and they put 3 on the board. And a curveball is nubbed foul towards the first base dugout of the Monarchs, 0-1. Grand Lake Mariners will be the Monarchs' next opponent Tuesday and Wednesday. And the Monarchs split with the Mariners. Both games in Salina. 1-1, lost 1. Pitch to Prater. Put in the air to shallow left. Coming in Marcoux, Marshall and Wood going out. It drops in just past the glove of Marshall. Just inside the line. It's picked up by Marcoux. It will be just a single for Will Prater. 6th hit of the game for Lake Erie. They are out hitting the Saginaw Sugar Beets 6-2
The shortstop,
as we play here in the top of the 5th.
Lambo.
Monarchs will look to steal a 2-out run. Here's Alex Lambo. 1 for 2 with a triple and a flyout. Lambo tripled in the first with 2 outs of them was left on the bases. Eric Fritz comes home with the pitch. Lambo in on the hands is popped up into foul territory. On the run, Trucks makes a one-handed grab. out number 3.
For the Monarchs,
And that will do it for the Monarchs. They get a bloop single with 2 outs off the bat of Will Prater, but nothing else. Middle of the 5th, Monarchs lead the Sugar Beets 3-1. This is Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com.
And leading it off,
Jack Heisman will try and get through 5 innings of 1-run ball. Taking on the Saginaw Sugar Beets. 3-1 is our score. Ryan Missel will swing at the first pitch and puts it in play towards short in the air. Lambo struggling with it, so Will Prater will come to the left side of the second base bag. They battle with a sun that somehow is trying to peek out here in Central Michigan. Out number 1 as Missel is out of there.
the second baseman, number 27, Ryan.
Big one pitch out for Jack Heisman, who's at 67 pitches as he works in the bottom of the 5th with this 3-1 lead. Here's Ryan Robinette. Thought about bunting, pulls back, takes ball 1. Robinette was batting in the lower portions of the order when the Monarchs and Sugar Beets met back on June 28th and June 29th in Flat Rock. The pitch, and Robinette looks at a strike to even up the count 1-1. But Robinette got on base at least twice in both of the games, and his numbers have since just taken off. Bouncer in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. In the first game, the 8-4 win for Saginaw. Ryan Robinette had a 2-run homer in the 4th of Game 1. He also had a 2-run single in the 8th, a 4 RBI day. Big swing and a grounder foul. Third base side, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Robinette in the second game was able to reach on 2 errors. He also singled once and got on via a fielder's choice. 2-2, and Robinette was hit by the pitch. Tried to turn away. Must have gotten a piece of him. Frank Barquette was all over it. And so that's the second hit batsman of the game. First for Jack Heisman. Each starting pitcher has 1.
Now climbing into the batter's box for the Sugar Beets.
1 out,
Pitcher,
bottom
number
5.
40,
Robinette is at
Connor
first base.
Churkin.
Monarchs have the 3-1 lead. Connor Charping will step in for his 3rd time. Fly out and a ground out for Charping. He chops one over towards short. Lambo will field. Throw across. Charping safe. And now the throw will be lofted into left field by Slattery, allowing the runner Robinette to move up to 3rd. Slattery with a throw that was ill-advised, and it ends up being a play that should not have been made. And an E3 will be given to Casey Slattery there. So now Connor Charping, after his infield single, able to beat it out.
The left fielder, number 5.
And a jam is coming into play against Heisman. Here's Noah Marcoux. 2 strikeouts for Marcoux today. Runner takes off, pop up, foul ground. Griffin Mazer shielding his eyes, and the ball will get foul behind home. No balls and a strike. And exactly what you would expect, Sharping taking off on first movement from Jack Heisman. Saginaw gets their 3rd hit of the game a moment ago on the infield single by Sharping. And then an error also charged to Slattery. Throw over to first, just a lob from Heisman. So the Monarchs pick up their first error of the game, as well as that 3rd hit for Saginaw. Oh, 1. Marcoux a check swing on a high fastball, and he was able to lay off, even the count at a ball and a strike. Tying run at first base, and he's the fastest guy on the team, Connor Sharping, for Saginaw in a 3-1 game in the 5th. Heisman delivers, and Marcoux with a pop-up. Down the third base side, Balgar near the fence, now bounces off of it and makes the catch. Sharping was able to get back to first in time. Again, he was off with the pitch. But no double play for the Monarchs. Sharping gets back. 2 outs, bottom 5. Runners still at the corners, and here comes the cleanup man, Cooper Marshall.
Cooper Marshall.
Big opportunity for Saginaw. They don't want to let it go to waste. Marshall has been patient today, 2 walks against Jack Heisman. But he's looking for a hit of some type here to drive home at least 1. Heisman getting ready to go. The pitch as Sharping takes off. Fastball for a strike. They throw down towards second. Now to the plate, and the runner is safe as both will steal the base. The dropped baseball by Griffin Mazer will ultimately lead to the runner being safe. So a double steal. Sharping gets second, and Ryan Robinette steals home to make it 3-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. And now Tim Brown's going to have a quick word here with the home plate umpire. Not too happy with the call, but Mazer, it appeared, did not quite catch the throw from Will Prater, who cut it off in front of second and then tried to get it back home in time to get Robinette. And instead, it leads to a double steal and a 3-2 game. Heisman will just try and keep the lead for the Monarchs now. Pitch to Marshall is a called strike. So we know there's 1 strike. Did not see the first pitch with all the action going on the double steal. Another one from Heisman. And Marshall takes the ball. Mazer at home plate is battling to keep it in front of him. 2-1. The count here on Cooper Marshall. Righty matchup. Heisman against Marshall. Here it is. And Marshall with a deep fly ball scorched towards left field. That's getting down and going towards the fence. That'll tie the game. Marshall thinking 2. He'll round second and stay there. Sharping scores from second. And the Saginaw Sugar Beets have battled back to tie the game in the bottom of the 5th with a 2-run frame. And it's 3-3 here at Cardinal Stadium. Monarchs now will get someone warming up down in the bullpen area. Appears to be Alex Tice. That ball was blasted by Cooper Marshall to the alleyway. Marshall picks up RBI number 29. Brad Merrick going to come out and have a word. We'll see if he does take the baseball from Heisman, who has gone through 4 2/3 innings. But now the question you have to answer is, How comfortable are you with Jack trying to get out of the inning after that double from Marshall to tie this game up? And Brad Merritt's going to leave him in there, but the go-ahead run is at second base, 180 feet away.
Max Trucks.
A solid 2-out rally for the Sugar Beets. Max Trucks looks at a fastball outside, ball 1. Trucks with an RBI single back in the first. Also bunted out to first. Casey Slattery making a nice play on a ball that traveled too far. 1-0. Fastball low. 2-0. Got a lot of gray clouds off in the distance. The sun trying to poke through here today. And it has at times. 2-0. Trucks out in front of 1. Big cut. 2 balls and a strike. Majority of the fans hoping for another hit here. 2-1. Trucks pops it up to right field. Dyke backing up. Now stopping. He'll reach up and make the catch. That's the final out here in the bottom of the 5th. So Jack Heisman is able to get out of the threat without giving up the tie, but they do give up the lead. Sugar Beets get a double steal and an RBI double from Cooper Marshall. And at the end of 5, we are tied at 3 in Game 1. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Eric Fritz, his first pitch of the 6th, is fouled straight back by Robert Bell. No balls and a strike. Robert Bell 0 for 2 with a ground out and a K today. Monarchs and Sugar Beets are tied at 3 here in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Bell out in front of a breaking ball again. Well out in front, that breaking ball's had Robert Bell fooled here today on a couple of occasions. No balls and 2 strikes. Bell, O'Loughlin, Dyke, 4, 5, and 6 in the order for the Monarchs as they look to get back in front. Back and forth game, just off the outside corner with another off-speed pitch, 1-2. Saginaw jumped out to the early 1-0 lead on the RBI single by Max Trucks, but then the Monarchs had a 3-run top of the 4th. 1-2, swing and a miss. And Bell out of there. 2 strikeouts for Robert Bell today, and those are both of Eric Fritz's 2 punch-outs.
Center fielder, number 33, Casey O'Loughlin.
I'll bring up Casey O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin is 1 for 1 with a single in the 2nd, and he was also hit by a pitch in the 4th and would score a run. Inside ball 1 from Fritz. Lefty continuing to warm up down the first base line. 1-0, and O'Loughlin missed the pitch. Swing and a miss. A ball and a strike. The gray clouds above, a little menacing, moving in this direction. Laughlin with a swinging bunt, if you will, off of his foot. That was how he singled the first time. Went off his foot and out in front of home plate. A ball and 2 strikes. Monarchs have out-hit Saginaw 6-4 through this point in the game. The pitch. And chasing one for strike 3 is O'Laughlin. They'll have to throw down to complete the strikeout. Sharping to Trucks. They do so. 2 Ks in the inning. 2 outs in the 6th for the Monarchs in game 1 of this doubleheader against the Sugar Beets. We're all tied up at 3.
The right fielder.
And the batter is now Andrew Dyke, the man who put the Monarchs in the lead back in the 4th with a 2-run double. And he also flew out in the 2nd as well. The pitch. Outside ball 1 from Andrew Dyke. Approaching the hour-and-a-half mark of this game. 1-0 is outside, 2 balls and no strikes. As we play here in the 6th. A lot of pace to the first 5 innings. 2-0. Skipper into the catcher, Sharpie. 3 balls and no strikes. The pitch. And it's right down the middle. Breaking ball for strike 1. In his freshman campaign with Saginaw Valley State, Eric Fritz participated in 16 games. Line drive into left, a base hit for Dyke. Will collect his 2nd hit of the game. Hit number 7 for the Lake Erie Monarchs. And the top of the 6th inning will continue.
Now stepping up to hit, the catcher, number 18.
Monarchs out hitting the Sugar Beets 7-4 now. And Griffin Mazer will get another opportunity to try and break this tie. Mazer today with a ground out and an RBI single. Mazer swings the first one. It's a pop-up on the infield. Robinette and Marshall duking it out. Marshall will make the catch behind second base. Final out here in a scoreless top of the 6th. Monarchs get an innocent 2-out single, but do not score. Eric Fritz is through 6. We are through 5.5. Saginaw and Lake Erie tied at 3. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Alex Tice, the new pitcher in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Monarchs, 3-3 game. 0-1 count on Brady Wood, make it 1-1 as Wood backs away from a pitch. So Jack Heisman done after 5 innings here today, and will leave with a no decision. Wood grounds it over to short, fielded by Lambo. Tough scoop, throws across, out number 1. Brady Wood now 0 for 2 with a walk. Adam Proctor, Sean Fannin also are due up in the inning. And that first out will bring up Adam Proctor, who was 0 for 1 with a flyout, 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout
Adam
here today.
Proctor.
We have the final numbers on Jack Heisman. We'll get those to you in just a moment. Lefty-lefty matchup. And a fastball over the inside corner for strike 1. Jack Heisman throws 5 innings today, faced 23 batters. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 4 hits allowed, 3 runs, 1 of them earned. 0-1, and a no decision today. Curveball low and away. Check swing on it, and he did not go. So a ball and a strike is the count on Proctor. Alex Tice, the all-star for the Monarchs, 1 of 4. 1-1 fastball, outer half strike, 1-2. Pitched a scoreless inning at the All-Star game this past week, did Alex Tice with 3 strikeouts and allowed a hit. 1-2, rung him up, strike 3. So down goes Adam Proctor. 4th strikeout for the Monarchs pitching staff here today. And there are 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 6th.
The right fielder, number 19,
Here's Sean Fannin.
Fannin.
Fly out, and also has rolled into a fielder's choice today, has Fannin. Alex Tice is from New Riggle, Ohio. He is 6 foot, 220 pounds, a lefty from Ohio State. Taking a strike over the inside corner is Fannin, 0-1. Alex Tice will turn 20 years old on November 3rd. So still couple months to go in year number 19 of his life. 0-1, a little below the knees. Even count, a ball and a strike. The numbers for Alex Tice go as follows: an 0-1 record with a 3 ERA, 10th appearance, 2 prior starts, came way back at the beginning of the season. 1-1 is corked to deep left field. Zach Schwarzenberger backing up, still backing up, and at the track will make the catch. It looked like the wind kept that in the ballpark because off the bat, Sean Fannin looked like he had given the Saginaw Sugar Beets a lead, but instead it's a deep fly out to Zach Schwarzenberger in left and the end of an inning. Crisis avoided for Alex Tice and the Monarchs. We go to the 7th, tied at 3. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball. Eric Fritz working into the 7th inning of a 3-3 ball game. Monarchs and Sugar Beets, game 1 of a doubleheader here today to round out the season series between these two. Eric Fritz will kick and fire with the first pitch of the inning. Strike 1 to Casey Slattery. Slattery 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a fly out. Monarchs got all 3 of their runs in the 4th. Saginaw with 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 5th. Slattery in on the hands will pop one to the screen behind home. No balls and 2 strikes. Fritz about to come home with pitch number 90 of the game. Actually, this will be 89 and then 90. Other than that 4th inning, he has been magnificent. 0-2, Slattery, a fly ball to right. Fannin starts back, now comes up a couple steps, slightly towards the line. Makes the catch, out number 1. Zach Schwarzenberger will now try
The left fielder,
to get a
number
hit off
7,
of Eric Fritz. 0 for 2 with 2 pop-outs. Monarchs have more action going on down the first base line. They have a righty up and tossing. And Schwarzenberger with a line drive to right, base hit. Sean Fannin will gather it up. And the number 9 man in the order gets on base with 1 out in the 7th. That's a good start to this inning for the Monarchs, who now have 8 hits.
Number 21, Caleb Bulgard.
Monarchs doubling up the Sugar Beets in hits, now 8-4. But it's a tie game. The pitch. And Balgard will swing and air one to right. Fannin, he's been all over the baseball in this inning. Doesn't have to move much, makes the catch, out number 2. Balgard 0 for 4 today in the leadoff spot. Been a tough game for Balgard. So the inning is in the hands of Will Prater, who has been on base twice with a ground out, a double, and a single. 3-3 game, top of the 7th. Will Prater will bat left-handed against the lefty Eric Fritz. Pitch to Fritz. Fastball low and away. Ball 1. Schwarzenberger with good speed over there at first base. Wonder how aggressive Bradley Merritt will be in trying to send him. 1-0. Inside half strike to Schwarzenberger, rather to Prater, 1-1. Schwarzenberger was not running on that play. Fritz with a look towards first, and now they get Schwarzenberger caught in a pickle. Schwarzenberger will be gunned down, out number 3. They knew he was going, and they were able to pick him off. Schwarzenberger out 1-3-6. That's the end of the top of the 7th. So the Monarchs do not score, and they cannot take advantage of Schwarzenberger's hit. So the Sugar Beets will try and walk off in the bottom of the 7th, 3-3 tie. This is your home for Monarchs baseball. Alex Tice will try and keep the game tied in the bottom of the 7th inning. Saginaw and Lake Erie all even at 3. 9, and then the top of the order, 1-2 for the Sugar Beets. Ryan Missile puts the first ball in the air to left. routine for Zach Schwarzenberger. That's the opening out here in the bottom of the 7th. Ryan Missile for 3 has put the ball in the air 3 times now today. So 3 full times through the order for Saginaw. Here comes Ryan Robinette.
It's the second baseman, number 27.
Robinette on
Ryan
twice,
Robinette.
doubled and scored in the first, lined out in the third, was hit by a pitch and scored in the 5th. And he will ground one foul down the first base line. No balls and a strike. 2 7-inning games today are scheduled, so if we are not able to break this tie here in the bottom of the 7th with Saginaw walking off, then we will play extras. 0-1. Robinette thought about bunting, pulled back, took a ball. Ball and a strike. What a week ahead to watch for, especially the Sugar Beets going to be a big part of that. 1-1 is rolled foul to the left of the third baseline. A ball and 2 strikes. Ending the season with the team that is currently just a half game ahead of them in the standings for second place, that being the St. Clair Green Giants. Going to be exciting to see how it all plays out. Lima and St. Clair will also play later this week. 1-2 is flown to center, now right center. Dyke will coast over, put it away, out number 2. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, all even at 3. Now Connor Sharping.
The catcher.
1 for 3
Number
is
40,
Sharping with an
Connor
infield single,
Sharping.
a ground out and a fly out. He also stole a base in the 5th inning, did Connor Sharping. The pitch. Tice takes low and in, ball 1. Tice did not pitch this year at Ohio State. Sharping, a hard hit. Fly ball foul over the fence right near the bullpen of the Monarchs down the first base side, even at a ball and a strike. Rain has held off during game time. Just a few sprinkles maybe here and there. That's it. Field in great shape for baseball. 1-1. Sharping again off to the right. Fouls one away. 1-2. A lot of work done on the mound to make sure it was dry enough to be used by the pitchers today. There was one wet spot not too far behind where Sharping is standing in the right-handed batter's box that was very wet, but that was about it. 1-2, lined right to first. Slattery makes the catch, and we are going to extra innings here at Saginaw Valley State University's Cardinals Stadium. We're all tied at 3 to the 8th. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Free baseball in extra innings we go now. Top of the 8th in game 1 of the doubleheader. Saginaw Sugar Beets and Lake Erie Monarchs. Tied at 3. Will Prater against Eric Fritz. Pitch low and away, ball 1. Will Prater 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and a ground out today. He was up in the top of the 7th when Zach Schwarzenberger was caught stealing to end the inning. Pitches inside for ball 2. 2 7-inning games. Well, this one will be at least 8 here in game 1. 2-0 from Eric Fritz. Strike over the middle. 2 balls and a strike on Prater. Lambo and Bell will follow. 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Lake Erie. Fritz throws. Swing and a miss. Well, in front of it was Prater. 2-2. Fritz was able to take something off of that one. Fritz has thrown 7 2/3 innings this year, but has not thrown 8 innings just yet. So he's going to try to get through 8. Ground ball over to first, backhanded by Trucks. He'll go to the bag himself for out number 1. That was pitch 98 just a moment ago by Eric Fritz. So what exactly the limit is on his pitching count, we do not know. Kyle Floyd, the head coach in his first year. Of course, Saginaw in their first year of existence in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. Alex Lambo steps in 1 for 3. Ball outside, 1-0. Tripled in the first, but was left at third base. And since a fly out and a pop out. 1-0 from Fritz. Outside, it missed. 2-0. It's a righty up and throwing in the bullpen down the third base side for the Sugar Beets. No one warming in the Monarchs pen. 2-0 is tattooed towards left, but it will hook foul as Marcoux was chasing it temporarily. 2 balls and a strike. Great facility for baseball here at Saginaw Valley State University, Cardinal Stadium. 2-1s low and in, 3-1. Although, the one thing that you may note is that the program does not have lights at the stadium. 3-1 from Fritz. And Lambo, another hard hit ball. That will fall down for a base hit down the left field line. Lambo wants to, but is not going to get there. He's going to have to retreat to first with a 1-out single. Monarchs get hit number 9 of the ball game. So we'll see if this could yield a run for the Monarchs in the 8th. But I don't think it will come against Eric Fritz. So it appears that Fritz will have the baseball taken from him. Yes, he will. Just over the 100-pitch plateau. So a new pitcher coming on for Saginaw. Fritz comes off to much applause. We'll continue in the top of the 8th in just a moment with a new pitcher. Monarchs and Sugar Beets tied at 3. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Jordan Williams, the new hurler, in for Saginaw on the top of the 8th. A man at first, 3-3 tie. Robert Bell is batting. Swinging a foul ball back to the backstop behind home. Nothing and 1. So the Monarchs tied up at 3 with the Sugar Beets as we are in extra innings in game 1 of this doubleheader. 7 1/3 innings for Eric Fritz. 0-1 pulled the string on Bell, nothing and 2. Bell with 2 Ks and a ground out today. He is 0 for 3. Jordan Williams is a right-hander. Turning Bell around for the first time here today. Williams with a deep breath, the 0-2. Finishes below the zone. Ball and 2 strikes. Bell able to lay off. Jordan Williams from Westland, Michigan. 1-2, and a grounder over to second, could be 2. Robinette to second for 1. Marshall to first. Double play. Taylor made 4-6-3. Double play hit into by Robert Bell to retire himself and Lambeau. And Jordan Williams needs just 4 pitches to get out of a slight jam in the 8th. Saginaw will try and walk it off again in the bottom of the 8th. We are tied at 3. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Saginaw looking for win number 21 of the season. And the Monarchs trailing in the game. Or rather, we're tied 3-3. Noah Marcoux with a grounder found on the first base line. No balls and a strike. Alex Tice entering his 3rd inning of work. He relieved Jack Heisman here today. And the pitch. Marcoux takes outside. Ball and a strike. Marcoux has had a rough day at the plate. 2 strikeouts and a pop-out. This is his first time facing Tice. Breaking ball in for a strike to make it a ball and 2 strikes. A lot of clouds in the area. Some sprinkles coming down here at Cardinal Stadium. 1-2, Marcoux ahead of a breaking ball. Strike 3. Alex Tice with 2 Ks and has gotten the first 7 men he has faced here today in his relief appearance. I'll bring up Cooper Marshall. 2 walks and a double for Cooper Marshall today. His double in the 5th tied this game at 3, and we've been even since. The pitch, and Marshall takes a ball. 1-0. Monarchs 3 runs on 9 hits, an error. And so far, they have left 4 men on base. 1-0. Inside to Marshall. 2 balls and no strikes. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 5 left on for Saginaw here today. Not a lot of men left on base. 2-0. And Marshall behind a fastball that was low in the zone. 2-1. Tice has been great And in the spot where he has to be, the offense hasn't quite been able to come through other than the fourth today. 2-1 is lined foul down the first base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cooper Marshall. Some of the umbrellas are out for the fans as they're shielding themselves from the sprinkles. 2-2. And another breaking ball. Cooper Marshall out in front and over the top. Strike 3. 2 punch-outs for Tice in the inning, 3 for the game. And Max Trucks will not bat. It'll be Daniel Page to pinch hit for the Saginaw Sugar Beets here in the 8th.
Now batting a senior.
Today, Max Trucks had a single to drive in a run in the first, a bunt out, and a fly out. But it'll be Daniel Page here in the bottom of the 8th trying to give the Sugar Beets a little different look against Tice. And also, you have the lefty versus righty matchup. Page grips the bat barehanded. And the pitch is lined back to the screen behind home. No balls and a strike. Alex Tice can touch 90 on the gun with that fastball, which makes him a very talented pitcher with a lot of promise. Bunted up in the air. Alex Tice going to grab it. Out number 3 as Page got a little too cute, tried to bunt one, and he is out of there for the final out in another 1-2-3, bottom of the 8th. It's time for the 9th inning as free baseball continues here at Cardinal Stadium. Monarchs and Sugar Beets tied at 3. You're listening to Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Ball outside to Casey O'Laughlin. That starts off the top of the 9th inning. Our second inning of free baseball here today at Cardinal Field. Pitch misses high and tight to O'Laughlin, 2-0. Monarchs 3 and the Sugar Beets 3. Kevin Peel here with you. Jordan Williams back on the mound, 2-2. Or rather is 2-0. Is high and away, 3-0. Jordan Williams got a 4-6-3 double play with Lambo on first in the top of the 8th to get out of that jam quickly. 3-1 over for a strike to make it 3-1. And to keep Eric Fritz's numbers at 3 earned runs for the game. 3-1, a little number past the diving Marcoux and into right field for a base hit. Did not get all of it, did O'Laughlin. Was able to cork it into right field for a knock, and the Monarchs get hit number 10 and will try and get on the board here in the top of the 9th inning. They're now out hitting the Saginaw Sugar Beets 10-4. Saginaw has only had hits in 2 innings today, 2 in the first and 2 in the 5th. That is it. They've been out hit 10-4. Now Andrew Dyke. Fastball outside. It was held there by Sharping for an extra moment. Ball 1. Dyke with a couple hits, a 2-run double in the 4th, a single in the 6th. Flew out in the 2nd. Playing for the bunt is new third baseman, and Dyke will pop one in the air foul. First base side near the bullpen of the Monarchs, 1-1. Couple defensive changes for the Sugar Beets with Daniel Page pinch hitting in the last inning. He will enter the ball game and play at third. That will move Noah Marcoux over to first, and Brady Wood will move out to left as Max Trucks is out of the game. 1-1 to Dyke. High and away. 2 balls and a strike on Andrew Dyke. A great setup for baseball here today. A lot of fans in attendance despite the iffy weather. 2-1. Dyke, high air ball towards the bullpen of the Monarchs again, and he'll chase the guys who are sitting down the bench, down the line, as Phantom was going to chase the baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Dyke. It's been a sort of target practice in that area for Dyke with those couple guys out there. Looks like Brendan Lovell and Jake Goudreau hanging out. Brendan might be the next one out of the pen, although Alex Tice has been essentially perfect through 3 innings. 2-2. And Andrew Dyke puts it on the ground over to third. Tough hop for Page. Throws to second for 1. Throw to first. And it's not in time. Robinette with a great turn, though. Had a shot to get Andrew Dyke, but was a little bit behind.
Now climbing up to hit.
So out of their 5-4 is Casey O'Loughlin. He was forced out, and Dyke will replace him at first. 1 out in the 9th, 3-3 game. And here's Griffin Mazer. Mazer with a single for 3 today, and now he will ground one down the third base line. Fair past Page. 2 singles in the inning for the Monarchs, and Griffin Mazer gets his 2nd hit. He also had an RBI earlier on in the game. Monarchs going to go to a pinch hitter here in the 9th, and they'll bring up Jake Goudreau. He will pinch hit for Casey Slattery, a lefty against the righty Jordan Williams. Goudreau, a possible double play candidate for the Monarchs.
Number 25, Jake Goudreau.
Dyke at second, Mazer at first. 1 out, top of the 9th, 3-3 game. Jake Goudreau will hit for Casey Slattery, who today went 0 for 3. A couple flyouts and a ground out. And now we will get a quick mound visit to chat with Jordan Williams. There is a man warming up down the third base line for the Saginaw Sugar Beets. I don't believe a change is going to be made, but at least a talking to Williams to get him briefed is in order. Goudreau, a 196 average, 2 homers, 8 RBIs this year for Lake Erie. He's from Boston College and hails from Massachusetts. Williams works from the third base side of the rubber. From the stretch, the pitch, and it's low below the zone for ball 1. Goudreau appearing in his 23rd game. He's 11 for 56 at the plate. He's walked 6 times. 1-0. Goudreau cannot catch up to a heater from Williams, 1-1. Jordan Williams has a 1-1 record with a 10.69 earned run average. His 12th appearance of the season. Has also started 3 games, 17 2/3 prior innings. 1-1. Goudreau takes a ball low and away, 2-1. 19 strikeouts, 16 walks, and 25 hits allowed. He has pitched no longer than 4 innings in an outing this year. He is a full inning through this appearance. 2-1. Goudreau, a towering pop-up. First base side, Noah Marcoux still going towards the fence. Marcoux will watch it go foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So still just one out in the inning. First and second is where the base runners are with one out. Gaudreau, a left-handed batter against the righty Jordan Williams. Infield hoping for a ground ball double play to get out of the threat. 2-2. Gaudreau instead will sky one to right center. Fannin and Missile coming over. Catch is made by Fannin for out number 2. And no advancement from either base runner. So 2 outs in the top of the 9th. And Jordan Williams just an out away from getting out of the jam.
The left fielder.
Here's Zach Schwarzenberger.
7,
Dyke
Zach
with decent speed at second.
Schwarzenberger.
And Griffin Mazer is at first base. Schwarzenberger 1 for 3 with a single and 2 pop-outs today. Single came back in the 7th. And then he was caught stealing later in the inning. Top of the order on deck for the Monarchs. The pitch. Inside corner strike to Schwarzenberger. 0-1. Top 9, 3-3 game here at Cardinal Stadium. Game 1 of 2 to be played today. 0-1. Schwarzenberger can't catch up to the heater. No balls and 2 strikes. Sugar Beets faithful, hoping for a strikeout. Caleb Baumgart wants a chance in the on-deck circle. He's had a rough day at the plate today. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Schwarzenberger, strike 3. And the Monarchs get a couple of hits in the inning, but cannot string together enough to get a run across. Bottom of the 9th coming up, and the Sugar Beets looking to walk off again. They are tied with the Monarchs 3-3. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball.
Number 11,
Can Alex Tice get through 4 scoreless innings? We'll start against Brady Wood in the 9th, and Brady Wood singles to start the bottom of the 9th. So he swats one hard back up the middle for a leadoff single. Alex Tice had 3 scoreless innings in relief of Jack Heisman, and trying to make it 4 in a 3-3 game in the bottom of the 9th. Sean O'Keefe, the Sugar Beets Sean O'Keefe, not the Monarchs Sean O'Keefe, going to pinch hit here in the bottom of the 9th. 5 hits for the Sugar Beets now here tonight. They're being out hit 11-5, but yeah, we're tied here at 3. So whether we liked it or not, we were playing 9 at least in game 1 of this doubleheader today. Another 7-inning game will begin about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Sean O'Keefe stepping in with a 171 average and 3 RBIs, 19th game. He tries to bunt, pulls back, takes strike 1. Sean O'Keefe is pinch hitting for DH Adam Proctor to try and move Wood over to second. And the 0-1. O'Keefe doesn't get it down. It bounces in front of home. The runner's going to second, and Wood is safe on the wild pitch from Alex Tice. So now you get your man into scoring position already. Now the infield coming in to have a quick word with Alex Tice. Now Coach Floyd has the decision, continue to try and bunt with O'Keefe to move that runner over to third, or have him swing away and try and move him over to third a different way. Saginaw and Lake Erie tied at 3, bottom of the 9th. Goudreau and Baugard are cheating in onto the grass against a possible bunt attempt from O'Keefe, who has struggled with the bat this year. He does bunt, pulls back, and takes ball 2. 2-1. No prior sacrifice bunts this year for O'Keefe. In terms of Brady Wood, he's a pretty good base stealer, 8 for 12. O'Keefe did make contact with the ball, but fouled it into the mitt of Mazer. 2 balls and 2 strikes, nobody out here in the 9th. So now the bunt quite possibly out of the equation here, unless Coach Floyd still wants him to put it down. Alex Tice working on the first base side of the rubber. Looks in for the sign. The 2-2. O'Keefe able to check his swing on a dirt ball. Count fills up 3-2. With Wood being at second base, the Monarchs middle infielders having to cheat a little closer to the second base bag, leaving a lot of room on the right side of the infield. 3-2, and O'Keefe golfed one, missed for strike 3. He's tagged out. And that's the first out of the inning. So fortunately for Saginaw, at least in this capacity, the wild pitch was able to move Wood up to second. But Keefe is not able to get him further than that. So now that'll bring up the number 8 man in the order, Sean Fannin. Fannin with 2 flyouts, and he's grounded into a fielder's choice today. He's 0 for 3. 3-3 game, bottom of the 9th, 1 out, runner at second. Fastball up and away, ball 1 to Fannin. This is now tied for Alex Tice's longest appearance of the season. Of course, he started the first 2 games that he pitched this year and then moved to the bullpen. And since he has moved to the bullpen, Alex Tice is not allowed an earned run, in fact, or a run of any type. Fannin pops one up. Center field. Now Dyke making the call for it. It's in right center, and he'll make the catch. Back to second goes Brady Wood, 2 outs in the 9th. 3-3 game, and here comes Ryan Missel, who has been a quick out the last 2 times. With a pop out and a fly out, he also lined out in the second. Yeah, Alex Tice coming into today had thrown 15 innings. His first 6 1/3 were starts, and the last 8 2/3. Now Missel will put a bunt down. It'll get past Alex Tice, and that will be a bunt single for Ryan Missel to keep the inning going. Monarchs were not expecting it. Baugard was playing back, and there's the second hit of the inning for the Sugar Beets. So Missel keeps the inning going and gives Ryan Robinette a chance to try and walk off with the victory. Well done by Ryan Missel, slapping it down to the ground. Tice tried to cut it off but couldn't get there in time. So here comes Brad Merritt He'll chat with the infield here to brief them on what to expect in this situation. 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth in a 3-3 game. But for Alex Tice, the focus should be simple. Should be on getting the batter Ryan Robinette and not making a miscue of some type, like a wild pitch or a pass ball or of some nature. Any one of those things could bring home Brady Wood from third. Again, Game 2 of this doubleheader will be 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1 here today. And Ryan Robinette is trying to send us to that Game 2 right now. Robinette is 1 for 3 with a double, a line out, a fly out. He's also been hit by a pitch and scored 2 runs.
Number 27, Ryan Robinette.
So he's been busy on the base paths. Brendan Lovell, it appears, warming up down the first base side. Robinette takes a fastball low. Missile will take off for second and be safe with a stolen base. Bluffing the throw that time was Mazer towards second. See if he can maybe get Wood taking too many steps towards home. Second and third with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. 3-3 game, 1-0. High and away to Robinette, 2-0. Connor Charping on deck for Saginaw if he's needed. First base is empty. Tice delivers the 2-0. Robinette with a pop-up. Back behind home. Griffin Mazer going to take a look, but it will get foul out of play. Near our location here in the press box. Slightly down the third base side at Cardinal Stadium. 2 balls and a strike. Some rain, it appears, off in the distance to the east of us. There's been rain in the area all day. 2-1, Robinette with a fly ball hit towards right center. Andrew Dyke getting under it will make the catch, and we're going to the 10th. As Alex Tice continues to pitch masterfully out of the pen. He has not allowed an earned run now in over almost 13 innings out of the bullpen. We go to the 10th in Game 1, tied at 3. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Caleb Balgard, an aggressive swing, and he'll line one down the left field line for a base hit to start off this top of the 10th inning. Caleb Balgard now 1 for 5 with that single. Monarchs up to 12 hits in the game. We have a 3-3 tie in the top of the 10th. This was a 7-inning game that has turned into more than a regulation game, in fact, with these teams not giving an inch. Trying to bunt his Prater, he'll pull back, take ball 1. Will Prater here today with a couple hits, a double, a single, and a couple groundouts. Monarchs out hitting the Sugar Beets 12-5. Jordan Williams ready to go with the pitch. Prater thought about bunting, pulls back, 2-0. Balgard, Prater, Lambo, the three in the order due up in this inning. Saginaw had runners at second and third with 2 down. And the dangerous Ryan Robinette at the plate in the 9th against Tice, but could not score. 2-0 is high, 3-0. So Will Prater has been blatantly showing bunt here through the first 3 pitches, but Jordan Williams has misfired each time, putting Prater in a good spot. We'll show bunt again and take a strike. And he was halfway down the first base line, so he'll have to come back towards home. That was maybe a little too close to take if you're Will Prater, near the outside corner. And also, you kind of wonder, too, if you're an umpire and you see a guy trotting down the first base line, sometimes you call him back by giving him a strike. 3-1. That one is outside, and now he'll hesitate before heading down to first base with the no-out walk. And that moves Balgard up to second. And now it looks like a new pitcher is going to come on. Jordan Williams' appearance will come to an end. 3-3 game. The Monarchs are threatening here in the top of the 10th in game 1 of this doubleheader. Stay tuned. More Monarchs baseball is on the way. You are listening to Monarchs baseball.
Stop. Number 3.
Alex Lambo set to bat with 2 men on and nobody out in the top of the 10th here at Cardinal Stadium in Saginaw, Michigan. We've been tied at 3 since the bottom of the 5th. Alex Lambo is trying to break through here. A couple hits for Lambo today, 2 for 4. He will face a new pitcher. It's righty Billy Blair. And he comes home with the pitch. Strike 1 over the outside corner. Pulling back was Lambo for some reason. 0-1. So I want to try and move those runners up to second and third. Balgard's currently at second after his leadoff single. Will Prater walked a moment ago. Now Lambo tries to bunt again. Balgard steals third, and he's safe. The third baseman was cheating up. That was Daniel Page, and so Balgard sensed an opportunity to swipe it, and he was successful. Now it's a 1-1 count on Lambo. Prater's still at first, but Balgard's at third. Now what do you do if you're head coach Tim Brown? You have Daniel Page just on to the grass down the third base side. The first baseman, Marcoux, is covering the bag right now. Prater is at first. And the 1-1. Lambo swings for the fences and comes up empty. Ball and 2 strikes now on Lambo. The middle infield is actually playing back. So if you hit one up the middle, even if it's just on the ground, that should get the go-ahead run home. Stepping off was Billy Blair, bluffing a throw towards third and first. Lambo with the level stance from Loyola Marymount. 1-2. While outside, able to backhand it nicely was Charping. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This game is over the 2.5-hour mark, which isn't too bad for a 9+ inning game. It's moved quickly. But both these teams, both wanting a victory here today. 2-2, Lambo stays back, flies one to left. The play will be made by Wood. They'll throw it towards home. It was offline, but Balgard didn't come home. And so it's, instead of a sacrifice fly, it's the first out here in the top of the 10th. And I'm not sure if Balgard just did not get the green light to go home, or if it was Bradley Merrick calling him off and saying, no, do not come home on that. It was not hit deep, and Wood with a pretty good arm.
Number 6.
But with the game tied at 3 the way it has been for a long time, interesting call not to go home on that. So runners at first and third with 1 out for Robert Bell, who's already grounded into a double play today. That would get him out of the inning. Will Prater is off and running, so cancel the double play opportunity there as he'll steal a base. Swing and a miss for Bell makes it strike 1. Runners at second and third with 1 out in the 10th inning, 3-3 game. Bell 0 for 4. In addition to a couple ground outs, a couple Ks for him. 0-1. And Bell swings over the top of a breaking ball, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Infield in for the Sugar Beets now. Hoping to prevent a run from coming in. What a jam Billy Blair's having to work himself out of. The 0-2. For ball low and away. Ball and 2 strikes. Billy Blair is an upcoming junior at Concordia University. He is from St. Charles, Michigan. 6'2", 210 pounds. Just north of 20 years old. Turned 20 on May 14th. 1-2, and Bell swings and misses. Strike 3. Comes up empty, a big cut. Golden sombrero for Robert Bell today as he strikes out 3 times. And now you go from nobody out, runners on the corners, to runners at second and third with 2 outs. Billy Blair trying to get out of this massive jam. Here's Casey O'Laughlin. 2 singles, has been hit by a pitch, and has struck out once. O'Loughlin's been good today. Pitch from Blair. Fastball up. Ball 1. O'Loughlin's last at bat came in the 9th when he singled. Blair appearing in his 13th game for the Sugar Beets this year. 1 out. Low and in. Nice job by Charping to get in front of it. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-2 record, 9.31 ERA for Blair. He's also started 3 games this year. Has 1 save for the Sugar Beets. 19 1/3 prior innings pitched. 2-0 coming. Ground ball over towards first. It's going to be a tough play at the bag, and they'll get it to him just in time. O'Loughlin's out of there. A 3-1 put out as O'Loughlin can't beat Blair to the bag, and so the Monarchs get runners on the corners with nobody out, and they cannot score in the 10th. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Saginaw will look to walk off again. 3-3 game. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball.
Charping.
Connor Charping leads off against Alex Tice in the bottom of the 10th. First pitch high, ball 1. Alex Tice has been masterful through 4 innings, allowing just 2 hits. Got out of a jam in the 9th with runners at second in the 3rd and 3rd. Did not allow a run in. Tied at 3. 1-0. Charping with a pop-up to right center. Andrew Dyke now fading back into right field will make the catch. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 10th. Still 7 more innings to play at least here today after the conclusion of this game. But it should be noted, although it's only 4 in the afternoon, it's very cloudy, though, here in Saginaw. There's no lights at Cardinal Stadium. I don't think that should be an issue, but nonetheless, something to keep in the back of your mind. Marcoux with a check swing, went too far, strike 1. Marcoux with 3 strikeouts and a pop-out today. Got the start in left field, now at first base. 0-1 from Tice. And it's inside. Ball and a strike. So Noah Marcoux is the second, make it 3rd player today to get the golden sombrero. 3 strikeouts in a game. Marcoux with a pop-up foul. Out of play, a ball and 2 strikes. Tice the lefty against the lefty Marcoux. 1-2. And the ball skips away. Oh, it hit his foot. Okay. There's a base runner for the Saginaw Sugar Beets here in the bottom of the 10th with a man on base. Just got a piece of him then to allow him to reach base. Here's Cooper Marshall.
The shortstop, number 24.
Coop with a couple walks, a double, and a strikeout today. That strikeout coming in the 8th inning. And he'll be the 3rd man to come to the plate in the 10th. Pitch to him is a heater high and away, ball 1. So impressive that Tice has not allowed a run out of the bullpen this year for the Monarchs after allowing 6 through his first 2 starts. Marshall high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. That was a big reason why he was able to earn an all-star bid, along with 3 other Monarchs, Griffin Mazer, catcher, Lane Schnitz-Paxton, and Jordan Nwogu. 2-0 is high, 3-0. Not seen Jordan Nwogu play this week, though. That injury we were talking about last Saturday in Adrian when Jordan was complaining about a little pain in his back seemed to end up to be something that's kept him out of action. Marshall swinging for the fences, comes up empty, strike 1. 3-1 count with 1 out in the bottom of the 10th in a 3-3 game. Man at first is Noah Marcoux. 3-1 from Tice. And another big swing and a miss. 3-2 to Cooper Marshall. Umbrellas out in full force here at the ballpark today. Fans dodging a couple sprinkles here and there. 3-2. And Cooper Marshall will draw a walk as Tice bounced one in. Daniel Page will come to the plate for the 2nd time here today after he pinch hit for Max Trucks in the 8th. Attempted to bunt, Alex Tice got him.
Number 15, Daniel Page.
Winning run is 180 feet away at second. Max Trucks was 1 for 3 prior to Page now being 0 for 1. And he swings and misses to have an 0-1 count on it. Lefty Tice against the righty Page. Oh, 1. Page sees one bounce in front of home plate. Ball and a strike. Page has 4 home runs and 11 RBIs this year, but also is hitting at a 148 clip coming into today. Has 8 hits and 54 at-bats, his 20th game that he's played in for the Sugar Beets, who are looking for win number 21. 1-1. High. 2-1. Righty up and warming. Brendan Lovell appears to be the man down the first base side for the Monarchs. And if you're Brad Merritt, when do you have to call off the guards to get Tice out of there? He has been good, though, today. 2-1. Page with a air out to right field. Moving towards the line is Dyke. He'll reach up and make the catch. Runner thought about going, but stopped at second, did Marcoux. 2 outs, bottom of the 10th here in game 1, and it's up to Brady Wood. Try and drive in that winning run. Wood today is 1 for 3 with a walk. He singled in the 9th to start off the rally and then was left at third. The pitch to Wood. Fastball must have been in or up. It was close, but it missed the zone. 1-0. Wood with 15 RBIs this year. 1-0. Wood with a fly ball, hit hard, foul. Out of play well to the right of home. A ball and a strike. Sugar Beets faithful looking onward and hoping for another win to get them closer to the postseason. 1-1. Check swing by Wood. It will roll towards the first base dugout. A ball and 2 strikes. There weren't many base runners and opportunities in the earlier stages of this game through the first 6 or 7 innings, but there's been a lot in extras, and neither team has found a way to get over the hump. Wood batting right-handed against the lefty Tice. The 1-2 pitch, and it's low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Wood. He has the face extender on the left side of his helmet to protect his mouth area from any pitches coming high and in on him. 2-2 on the way. Wood takes outside. Didn't miss that far off the plate. Count fills up with 2 outs. Marcoux at second. Marshall's at first. 3-3 in the 10th. 3-2. And Wood draws ball 4 and a walk. So the runners will move up 90 feet. That winning run is at third. Marshall at second. Wood at first. And again, it will be Sean O'Keefe batting. Alex Tice, Caleb Balgard, and Griffin Mazer are out on the mound having a quick word. Sean O'Keefe is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He was not able to get a bunt down in the 9th, and that may have hurt his team's chances, but he has an opportunity to try and come through.
Number 2, Sean O'Keefe.
Tice delivers to O'Keefe, who puts one to right field. Dyke coming towards the line, reaches up, makes the catch, and that's the end of the 10th. Neither team able to find a run to break the tie in the 10th. We go to the 11th in game 1, tied at 3. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Andrew Dyke leads off, top of the 11th. And the first pitch is a called strike one to Andrew. 0-1. Dyke with a couple singles, a ground out, and a pop out here today. Ball one outside, evens it up 1-1. Again, this was supposed to be a 7-inning game here today. Ball bounces in 2-1. 2 7-inning contests. We still have a 7-inning contest to go here today in Saginaw after the conclusion of this one. 2-1. Dyke takes high, ball 3. Both teams just not able to get over the hump. There's been base runners aplenty in the past couple innings. Several times a man at third, but no run across. 3-1 to Dyke, high ball 4. And they draw a walk. So Andrew Dyke with a leadoff walk here in the 11th.
The catcher, number 18, Griffin
And that will give Griffin Mazer a chance to bat. Mazer today, he was the one who had a couple singles, a pop out and a ground out, although Dyke has had a 2-run double, a single, and whatnot. Throw over to first to check Andrew Dyke. He's back in safely. Brendan Lovell starting to warm again down the first base side, and Saginaw will start to get a man up. Squaring to bunt, pulling back is Mazer. Ball 1. We've been tied at 3 since the bottom of the 5th inning. Cooper Marshall's RBI double tied it. And since then, all zeros. Another throw over to keep Dyke in check. Monarchs scored all 3 of their runs in the 4th. And it's mostly been walks that have led to people getting on. Mazer pulls back on a bunt. 2-0 count on Griffin. His single came in the 9th, his last one. And Mazer does get it down nicely to the first base side. Just one play for Marcoux. He'll flip to the covering Robinette at first for the out. So the sac bunt is a 3-4 putout. Great execution from Mazer there to get that bunt down. 1 out and a man at second in the 11th, tied at 3. And now Jake Gaudreau will take his second whacks.
Now coming up, number 25.
Fly out to right
Jake
center
Gaudreau.
for Gaudreau his last time. And only time at the plate. He'll swing and line one to right. That's a base hit. Ducking down in front of Fannin. Dyke going to have to be held at third as the single was right at Fannin. 13 hits today for the Monarchs. They're out hitting Saginaw 13-5.
The left fielder,
But
number 7, Zach
we still have a tie at
Schwarzenberger.
3-3. Comes Zach Schwarzenberger. Schwarzenberger with a strikeout, a single, and a couple pop-outs. The pitch from Billy Blair, another bunt shown, and a foul ball hit by Schwarzenberger. 0-1. Well, that bunt attempt really surprised Sugar Beets. You could go for a double play here, but Schwarzenberger does have a ton of speed. So it would have to be a quick turn. Robinette and Marshall have shown the ability to do just that up the middle. 0-1, Schwarzenberger tries again. It's high. Even count at a ball and a strike. Here in the 11th, in a 3-3 game. Dyke is the man at third, and Gaudreau the man at first. Schwarzenberger batting from the left side against the righty Blair. Here it comes, the bunt, and it's fouled off just to the right of home. So 1-2. Schwarzenberger cannot get down the safety squeeze. Schwarzenberger from Saline, Michigan, near Ann Arbor. Sophomore from Toledo, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Part of a Rockets team that made it to the MAC tournament this year. Billy Blair with a deep breath in the 1-2, and it bounces in the dirt. Even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blair's last appearance came against the Green Giants a week ago in what was a 10-6 win for the Sugar Beets. Allowed a hit, a walk, had a strikeout, faced 5 in an inning. 2-2, Schwarzenberger swinging bunt down the first base line. The run will score. They throw over to first. They do get Schwarzenberger, but the tie has finally been broken on an RBI ground out by Zach Schwarzenberger here in the 11th inning, as the Monarchs will take a 4-3 lead here at Cardinal Stadium. Schwarzenberger was trying to get the bunt down, did not officially get it down, but then was able to just put it in play. And the pitch misses for a ball to Caleb Balgard, who is 1 for 5 today with a single. A couple air outs and a couple ground outs. 2 outs in the 11th, 4-3. 1-0, grounded back to the mound. Blair will have it. I think he'll jog almost all the way to the base. Soft toss over to first for the final out here in the 11th. The Monarchs get into the lead as they get a run on the RBI ground out from Zach Schwarzenberger. And as we head to the bottom of the 11th, it will be the last chance for the Sugar Beets. They trail at 4-3. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. So this is it, hopefully. Brendan Lovell will look to try and come in and get the save for the Monarchs, who lead 4-3 in the bottom of the 11th. Sean Fannin swings and lifts one deep to left center. That's on its way towards the fence. Fannin heading to second with a leadoff base hit against Brendan Lovell. And here come the Saginaw Sugar Beets as they start off with a double. Sean Fannin now 1 for 5 today with that double. Now Ryan Missile, 1 for 4 with a bunt single, which came back in the 9th. Missile in on the left side against the righty Brendan Lovell, the second Western Michigan Bronco to hit today. Foul back to the screen by Missile for strike 1. So Alex Tice searching for his first win of the summer and can get it here if Brendan Lovell slams the door on the Saginaw Sugar Beets. Lovell is 6'2", 185 pounds, an upcoming sophomore at Western Michigan from Scots. Pitches low, ball 1. Nice dig out of the dirt by Griffin Mazer, 1-1. 2-0 record for Lovell with a 3.62 ERA. 13th appearance out of the pen, 27 and a third innings. 28 strikeouts to 12 walks. It's allowed 27 hits. 1-1. Bunt. Nicely done. It will get the runner over. Lovell to first, just got Missile. So 1-3 sack bunt over to third goes Sean Fannin. That tying run just 90 feet away in the 11th. Saginaw Sugar Beets, like we said, came in to this game a half game back of the Green Giants for second place in the division. The Green Giants are playing 1 today against the Xenia Scouts. That game is scoreless in the top of the 3rd. They are playing 2 games today. So the Scouts and Green Giants will play 2, but they are just into the first game. Ryan Robinette takes the ball low, ball 1. A double and a hit by pitch for Robinette today. He's 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Infield in, Robinette will tap one foul to the left side of home. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Gray clouds all around, just sprinkles at this point in time here at Cardinal Stadium. Lovell pitches. Curveball low and away. Nice block by Mazer. Keeps the count 2-1. Dyke playing a couple steps ahead of the other 2 outfielders in right. Dyke cheating in. 2-1. Robinette takes a ball low and away. 3-1. Connor Sharping on deck. Heisman throws. And Robinette with a huge swing and fouls it off his foot. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 11th, 4-3 Monarchs. 1 out. Second Western Michigan Bronco to pitch here today in Brendan Lovell. 3-2. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Robinette down on strikes. Lovell picks up his first, and Saginaw has 1 more out to work with to try and at least tie it, if not win it. Connor Sharping, 1 for 5 today with a single and a run scored back in the 5th. He was the one that tied this game at 3 way back in that 5th inning. Lovell with another beautiful breaking ball. Sharping able to lay off, though. 1-0. Sean Fannin, leadoff double. Standing at third base, he was able to move up on the sacrifice bunt by Ryan Missile. 1-0. Stays outside, 2-0. Any ground ball hit to the infield has to be turned quickly. Sharping, very fleet of foot. Lovell from the stretch is 2-0. A little below knee high, and it's 3-0. Monarchs dugout looking on, hoping for win number 15 of the campaign. Need one more out to do just that. 3-0. Strike one, outside corner. Sharping letting Lovell throw him one. Deep breath and the pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. And Sharping will walk. Second time on the base paths for Connor Sharping today. Bottom of the 11th, approaching the 3-hour mark of game 1. 4-3, Saginaw Sugar Beets trail the Lake Erie Monarchs. Now we'll have a quick conference of the Monarchs infield here to try and figure things out, play good situational baseball. The good thing is, on a ground ball hit to the infield, you have a little more time to get Marcoux. Sharping is a very tough guy to get out. But now you have to be careful because Sharping represents the winning run at first base. And there's a good chance he'll be off on first contact. No, he's not. Marcoux with a ground ball over to first. Goudreau backs up on it, steps on the bag, and that is the ball game. And the Lake Erie Monarchs will get it done as they win for the 15th time this year to improve to 15-19. They beat the Sugar Beets 4-3 in 11 innings in Game 1 of the Twin Bill. The Sugar Beets will fall to 20-15 and now 7-4 in their last 11 games. For the time being, Saginaw will be 3 back in the division and a game back of the St. Clair Green Giants. And, of course, we will be keeping you updated on all those scores as we go forward with game number 2 here today. But the Monarchs get it done. They hold off and win it, as the second game will begin about 5:15 here in Saginaw. It will be another 7-inning game as the Monarchs will seek another victory. 5:10 first pitch for you here on the network. Alex Tice picks up the victory to improve to 1-1. Brendan Lovell will get his first save, and Billy Blair is saddled with his 3rd loss of the season to fall to 2-3. So the Monarchs get 4 runs on 13 hits. They commit an error and leave a few men on base here. Let's take a look at those left on base numbers. The Monarchs leave 9. Saginaw, with 3 runs on 7 hits, no errors, they leave 12 on the base paths. Attendance 263 here at Cardinal Field. And the Monarchs get the win by a final count of 4-3. So we'll be back here shortly. 5:10 is the first pitch of Game 2. We hope you will tune in with us. In the meantime, I am Kevin Peel saying so long for now from Cardinal Field in Saginaw, Michigan. You have been listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com.